Yeah, me and Mike are pretty tight, pretty cool. My first occurrence ever meeting him, he'll tell you this story. We was in, I say, middle school at 8th grade, and they had like this NFL academy up in Pennsylvania, and we stayed there like some of the top 8th graders, in the country. Went there and we stayed in Pennsylvania for a few days during the weekend, and it was a cool experience. But that was like my first encounter with him. It was pretty cool. So.
Pat, how do you kind of like this big game atmosphere? I mean, some people are saying it's like a Super Bowl potential preview. Bo Nix was saying it's going to be kind of like a playoff game. What are your thoughts on it?
I just look at it as another week, another opponent. Obviously, the Packers have a great team. They got a talented roster, but we can't look too far ahead. I think it's another week where we got to prove ourselves. And, that's what the league is about. We're going to face great teams each and every week, but at the end of the day, we got to focus on what we need to do and capitalize on the moment.
They've got a bunch of different receivers that have over 300 yards. Just what's the challenge with them, since there might not be like a traditional number one, but they go to so many different guys?
Yeah, they got a variety of guys. They got a great rotation going on. And they got a young receiver core, too. So, a lot of them guys make plays down the field. That's what they big on. Kristen Watson, Romeo, all them boys, I feel like they consistently, make big-time catches down the field. That's what they're known for. But also, I just think as an offense as a whole, it starts with the run game and it builds into the pass. So I think it's going to be a great battle for us, a great competitive battle. So.
Pat, speaking of the run game, Josh Jacobs well. I've gone up against him. What makes him difficult to stop?
He runs through contact. He's a guy that's not easy to bring down. He runs pretty hard, and he's very elusive as well, too. And, with my time playing with him at Bama, it seemed like he brought that same type of mindset on to the league. So it's going to be pretty fun.
Pat, is this a unique year to you with the number of drop, all those picks that you guys have had as a secondary?
Yeah, we got to capitalize on those. We always preach about, taking the ball away, and when those opportunities come, we got to make those plays count, because, that could be the only opportunity you may have. So, we got to establish, creating more turnovers, but, that will come, because we're always flying around to the ball. But I say we definitely need to catch more picks. For sure.
A lot of people talked last year about how that joint practice against these guys kind of gave you the sense that you could do something last year. Mm-hmm. What do you remember about that practice, and then going against some of those receivers in that practice? How helpful is that as you get ready for this week?
Yeah, it's very helpful. We got some, familiarity with, their offense and how they operate. So, I think they stay consistent, obviously with their room. Obviously they added some new guys offensively, but it's still the same offensive philosophy. So that's a good thing. But, when I look back at that practice, I think it was very competitive. I feel like we brought the energy and brought the juice. So, we're looking forward to bringing that same energy as we had.
I'm sorry. Matt LaFleur said today he thought you guys got the best of them in that joint practice. Would you concur with that?
I believe we did.
Okay.
It was very competitive, but, I felt like we brought, more of that energy and juice. So.
Pat, Sean and Bo both talked about the crowd, and both said he thought it'd be similar to what else saw the Chiefs, but just how big of an advantage has it been having this home crowd, especially these last couple of years?
It's been a huge advantage. I feel like we use that towards our advantage at home. I feel like we're a tough team to play at home, especially with a mile high, the altitude and all that. But, the fans, make it hard for every opponent that we face. So, I'm looking forward to go back out there in front of those fans. And especially a big-time game like this is much needed. So.
Pat, Vance Joseph is a guy who's earned some buzz as a head coaching candidate. Obviously, he's done that in his past. But do you see those qualities in him as a coach?
Definitely. He's a stand-up guy, stand-up individual. He thinks about his players first. That's how you look. That's what you look for in a coach. But he's very smart-minded. He knows the ins and outs of the game. He's been coaching in this league for a very long time, and he also has experience playing. So, Deservedly so. If he gets that call, he's very deserving of that role.
The opening drive last game and throughout the game, you guys are rotating a lot of personnel in the secondary. Like, I think Johnny started at safety. Chris keeps rotating in. How have you guys handled that? Have you seen BJ maybe try and experiment with a little bit more, knowing that you guys have so many guys there, you want to try and get them all on the field and keep them fresh?
I mean, I think VJ elaborated on it a couple weeks ago. It's hard to sort of keep those guys off the field, especially when they've been making big-time plays, throughout the week. So I think it's good that we got a little rotation going on, allow those guys to shine in their role, but it also gives us, a variety of different things that we could run defensively. So I think it's a great thing that, VJ, allows us to shine in that role. So.